We're live.
Good evening. Welcome to the buzz about Smithtown Krav Maga. Friday, August 15th, 2019.
It's Thursday.
Oh, damn, you know, it's either the date I get wrong or the day. This is what happens when I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation, so I've lost track.
We are here with Mr. Russ. Russ was in our previous videos, but they no longer exist, so I wanted to bring you
We
back
had some good ones.
Oh, there we go.
and
Always a
ask
good
you some
guest.
new questions.
Oh, computer crash?
No, I just
Updating the
wanted,
website.
I wanted to restart from new. Try and make it kid-friendly so we don't curse anymore.
That's the challenge.
Yeah, so no cursing in our videos these days. So, Russ, how long you been here?
It'll be 3 years in November.
Wow, 3 years goes by quick.
Yes, it does.
All right. So, in your did you train in martial arts before that?
No.
So this is all you've experienced. So,
Yes.
can you describe Russ 3 years ago compared to Russ now?
Let's see. In better shape. I found out I have muscles. Who knew? Part of that was Kisham. When I first started, you had classes at 9 o'clock in the morning
Yes.
during the week. And sometimes I would be the only one here. So Kisham would basically just give me like military training.
Pretty much, I put you through boot camp every time.
Yes, and I remember one day you came down and you looked at me and you said, Kisham, he's kind of old. You sure you might give him a heart attack? And he's like, no, you can take it. Like, yeah.
Yep.
And you can take it, right? That's what our shirts say on the back. I can take it.
Yeah.
Right, I bet you found out that you could take a lot more than you ever imagined.
Yeah, well, what I found was especially if I take like 2 seconds to like stop for, and then keep going.
Yeah, you used to have to stop and go outside and like catch your breath. I remember that in the beginning.
Yeah, well, you know, it's difficult when you are like, I used to follow Mark Twain's advice about exercising. When I got the urge to exercise, I'd lay down until it passes. So, you know, and that worked for years. I mean, it was great.
Works for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Now, when I came here, I broke my ankle in 2012, and they basically said, well, you're not going to be, it's never going to heal right. You're never going to be the same. You know, I got a plate in there. And I came here, and you guys are like, okay, we're going to jog, so I can't jog. Okay, we're going to jump, I can't do jumping jacks. Okay, we're going to jump rope. I can't jump rope.
Can't jump.
Right, I can't, man. It's like, you know, my ankle is screwed up. But gradually, I, you know, said, well, fucking everybody else is doing it. So, you know, I would try
Almost
it.
slipped one by the side.
Yes, almost.
Yeah, good,
So,
good.
I caught it though.
Good self-censoring.
That's the thing.
It is
And
tough, man.
It's easier when you're a parent, because then you say,
Yeah, you go into the parent stutter.
Yeah.
So at any rate, at this point now, you know, I can jump rope, I can jog, I can.
You don't have to
I mean,
stop and go outside.
But I mean, granted, it still hurts and it still feels sometimes like my ankle swells up to the size of a cantaloupe. But that's usually when I'm not doing this because it gets stiffened up again. So you know, that's that.
Well, exercise. You use it or you lose it. That's the whole the oldest saying.
Like
And
since
it's true.
Now, since I've been here, I haven't had the opportunity to use any of the stuff I've learned here, nor
Which is
do
probably
I,
good.
nor do I
Great.
expect to. But you know, it's good to know, and I feel more confident in a lot of. I'm a musician. Sometimes I play in some dicey places. Sometimes I find myself in. I play in other countries. I'll be working, you know, walking with my wife. We'll be, you know, in between after gigs or whatever, in places that might be a little less than savory, and I just feel a lot more confident about those situations.
Plus, you might have to get a club owner to live up to his obligation too.
Yeah, that's only a problem here in America.
Okay.
I don't have that problem out of here. No.
So, Rush, you are a musician. What kind of music do you play?
I play modern blues, also alternative blues. It's original blues-influenced music, but I've been a musician, professional musician, since I was about 16. So I have played literally every kind of music you could possibly think of. You know, rock, funk, classical, jazz, reggae, German, Hasidic, salsa, Portuguese, Irish, and I'm not talking about like one or two songs. I mean, I play with bands that do this for periods. I was with a Greek band for about a year and a half.
Break a lot of dishes there.
You know, Dixieland, great Dixieland band I was with for quite a while, and big bands, small bands, 14, 20-piece bands, whatever.
How many people in your band right now?
The Hitman Blues Band has 9 pieces, which is basically drums, bass, guitar, keys, baritone sax, tenor sax, trumpet, and 2 backup singers. But I also, like this weekend we're playing at Treme with a full band, and next week we're playing at Tie Rock as a trio. So
you can do it all.
But I mean, I was just in England and we did it as a quartet, so whatever.
Now, does your martial arts training play into your music? Or vice versa?
Music...
It's good for threatening band members at rehearsal. I do it all the time.
I'm sorry, what was that word you used?
Threatening?
No.
Rehearsal.
That.
Mm.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You don't do rehearsals
No,
anymore.
We don't do
Yeah.
rehearsals. I don't like rehearsals.
I enjoy rehearsals.
Yeah, I did it when I was younger. I
Really?
burned on it. I used to rehearse 6 nights a week, and when I was about maybe 28, stopped that, and I've never liked it since. I mean, once before we go on tour, I'll call the rehearsal a couple of times. But my attitude is, learn the music, show up to the gig, play it right, or else don't come back. I mean,
Yeah.
I expect you to learn. I expect you to know it. Same way that when you have people who teach you, you expect them to know what they're doing. So
Absolutely.
you ask if there's a lot of corollaries between music, between martial arts, between computer programming and computers, which is something else that I do. I think probably between a lot of things, probably between business. Which is one of the reasons why I'm not only taking Krav Maga here, but I'm doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do. I'm also taking Rich's class, where it's not this, it's this. And I was like, I'm not interested in things where you gotta be like, it's that, not that. But that is a good part of it. And also Ili Chuan, which I'm looking for the thread that ties it all together. Because I get the feeling there is one.
One day you'll have an aha moment.
Yeah, well,
They'll
that's
have
it.
to have you again and talk about it.
Yeah. You had a series of aha moments.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that only come through repetition, just like anything
Yeah, and
else.
while you're doing the reps, notice how your body moves and you'll have that aha moment.
Yeah, you maybe on your 25th rep, you'll be like, oh, wow, that was it. And it took all those, and then you start chasing it again, trying to get it back. But you remember what it was, and you consistently strive to get back to it. And that's a discipline that you talk about, not needing rehearsal and being prepared. Well, that ties directly into that. Your level of preparation equals your performance. Right? But in martial arts, we still need to rehearse. Right? We still need to always even boil it down to sometimes the most. Yeah.
I still practice.
True.
I mean, I
Okay,
practice
good point.
all the time.
Good point.
And I learn riffs, and another thing is that a lot of times I'll spend a lot of time learning a riff. But when I'm actually on stage and there's stuff going on, there's the audience and there's the PA system, and I'm thinking about 20 different things all at once, and now I'm taking a solo, am I going to use that riff that I just spent the last 6 months working on? I might, if it fits and if it's right. Chances are I'm going to fall back on my go-to,
You go to a library.
library.
For those who don't
things.
know, a riff is a motif or a certain particular way of playing thing on an instrument. It's a common way of talking about something an approach to playing the guitar. A riff is something a little more longer maybe and complex than a lick, which is maybe a certain type of thing.
Well,
also.
it's a whole thing like where you're taking a series of movements here, and you're saying, well,
Like
you
a
know,
kata?
well,
You kind of, yeah, because it'll base it around a scale or visually if we're just looking at a fingerboard pattern. But yeah, absolutely.
Well, but there's a series of moves that you might make, but you're not necessarily going to make that exact series. You're going to take little bits and pieces from that, maybe from other things, and put them together. Same way that you might, on at least on guitar, you might have a riff that you use, which is like a fairly long, for a couple of measures, like you might take that and then just after doing it for like, I don't know,
Can you
You know,
transcribe that?
a couple, yeah, I can. After a couple of years of doing it, you might say, well, you know, I'm bored to death of playing this,
Yeah.
but I like this part, so then you'll start incorporating
mixing
different
and
things
matching.
into it.
Play in a different position, which is one of the advantages of guitar. You can slip around and play different things. Same
Yes,
thing,
you can,
different
and still
places.
not know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, the best is this
That's why I
is
told you, a monkey could play guitar, it's just, you know, you don't actually have to know what you're doing, although,
depends on the education level of the monkey, no?
that's true.
True.
But I mean, the deeper you get into it, the harder it gets.
Oh, sure.
It's true. It's elusive, like anything else, like martial arts, very much like martial arts. But here's the thing that relates to music too. What about when you're playing that riff and you get a little tangled up and you fall into it late, or something goes wrong? But then your choices are, okay, I can either fight to get back where I was and regain that riff, or I can see where it takes me.
Right, exactly. You have
And
to
then
adapt.
suddenly someone goes to you, oh my God, that was great what you played there. Do you remember what you played there? And you're thinking, yeah, I messed up and I went somewhere